On happy Friday, second best day of the week, maybe behind Thursday when the whole weekend, including Friday, is still in front of you, but pretty good day. It's always a good show, the Friday show, the Plant Based Morning Show. We are sponsored, presented, brought to you by Compliment, lovecompliment.com is where you can get all your plant-based, your compliments, not just supplements, more than supplements, less than supplements. We don't go overboard like supplements do. That's why it's just compliments. Anyway, that's what we're brought by. Looking forward to this one. I think this is a casual Friday show, despite my wearing a collared shirt. Although I do have the button a little bit unbuttoned here, Doug. You notice that?
Oh yeah, you're showing a little skin there. I like it.
Between that and sort of the nerd look, and I figured might look better casual Friday. But I don't know.
Yeah. Unbutton that thing. Let the skin out.
All right, I'll do that. All right, it is Friday. It's casual. There's not a lot of news today, but there's the talk of Super Bowl stuff, as we've kind of promised. And there's also the vegan world caught on to the Chick-fil-A thing. We were actually early on that. We scooped Veg News on the topic, so that's always a win when we can beat them to something. And similarly, they are making a bigger deal out of it than we did, I guess. They're at least calling it vegetarian, which Chick-fil-A is unwilling to do. So anyway, I feel kind of good about that.
My mom sent me the Chick-fil-A news, and then she sent me a message like 30 minutes later saying, "Oh, I just heard you guys talking about it." So we scooped, man. We were on top of things. It was good.
We were, yeah. It's in a lot of big outlets today. It was in USA Today yesterday, so it's not like it was brand new or unknown. But anyway, whatever. Feels good.
So we got a question of the day today.
Yes, we were supposed to do this one yesterday, and it was at the top of our page, and we just never said it. So that was kind of strange. Would you like to present it, Doug? If you're on YouTube, you already see it there, because that's one of the great things about YouTube is we can pin things right onto the screen.
That's right. You can pin the Instagram comment as well. So the question of the day came from Dale Stevens a couple days ago, which is, what was the easiest thing to give up when you first went plant-based?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you have a quick answer for that?
I don't know if this is really answering the question. The thing that jumps out in my mind is milk, because I was not even trying to be vegan. I was just trying to eat way less meat, and I was going to eat just a little bit of fish, but be vegetarian plus fish. Yep. And well, I guess the second part of the answer is fish was pretty easy to give up because it didn't take long until I was eating fully vegetarian. It wasn't that different. So that was pretty easy. But like, even when I did that, I just stopped drinking milk, which I guess I had in cereal before that. And every now and then I guess would drink a glass of milk. I think I used to do that. But even like 2 years before I went vegan, when I went vegetarian, I basically stopped drinking milk, and it was quite easy. That was no problem whatsoever, just to switch to, I think I started having, I basically just stopped having it. I stopped eating cereal and things that I used to use milk in, because there weren't a lot of good almond milks. It was just soy milk back then.
Yeah.
That was common. Maybe rice milk, but I didn't want to touch that. So that was pretty easy. How about you?
Milk wouldn't have been too hard, because I think at that point I'd already switched probably to soy milk. I think my guess is going to be, or my answer is going to be eggs, which is funny because now we eat a lot of just egg on like our weekend brunches, but I just never really ordered eggs, scrambled eggs or fried eggs all that much. And so I would say that one was pretty easy for me to give up.
Eggs, though, for me, you're right. I never was an egg eater, so I just didn't even have to give them up, except they're one of the things that when you go vegan, you suddenly can't eat a bunch of things that you were eating when you were vegetarian because eggs are in it, and you just don't realize it. So I guess that counts as giving up eggs.
Right. They're included in a bunch of baked goods and pastas and all kinds of stuff. That's a good point. It's a good point.
All right, so a couple submissions from the audience here. In addition to the normal Happy Fridays, TGI Fridays, Good Morning Gents, all those comments, which I appreciate. Steven, who texted me a good idea, asking if we could have a chat group kind of thing for just Plant-Based Morning Show fans to connect during non-show hours, which we've been batting around that idea, and I have yet to figure out what the platform for it should be.
Maybe we should ask people what they want. We've batted around a Discord, we've batted around a Slack channel.
Yep.
a Facebook group, which I think we're all kind of a little bit on, but
WhatsApp. Steven suggested a WhatsApp
a
like group,
WhatsApp.
I think.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
there's no structure at all. I think it's just open forum
Open
basically.
open chat. Wow. Huh.
Yeah. Uh, so anyway, we can come back to that in a bit if people want to tell us where they'd like to connect. But as far as answering this question, Jody says meat for sure. Just meat in general, easy to give up. I guess compared to maybe cheese or other animal products. Steven says mother never liked dairy, so we hardly had it growing up. Never got the addiction to cheese. My mom says red meat. Yeah, red meat was actually pretty easy for me too. That was like the first thing I gave up when I just said I'm going to be eat two-legged animals only for. I think it was a good year before I was willing to go vegetarian. That I was just eating birds and fish, basically, not eating pork or beef. But that was pretty easy. That year was not a struggle at all, and it was a nice way to ease in. Mr. Jeffrey says, yeah, milk and beef, pretty easy. Meat and eggs, Jill says. Jeff Hudnall says cheese. Found it was causing my weight to not drop as. Oh, it was what was causing my weight to not drop as fast as I was trying for. Yeah, I believe that. That's probably true for a lot of people. Let's see, and then there's a bunch more. I just don't want to read all of them. So I guess we'll.
I like Anne Marie says everything because she was doing it for her health, which I think that's true for certain people, right? If you're doing it because of a health crisis or because you just feel very strongly that you need to do it, like it's a no-brainer. You just do it and it's not a problem, right?
Yeah, right. And that's kind of why I'm having trouble answering because, like, I don't know. Once you decided to go vegetarian or vegan, it just sort of it wasn't hard. Like I didn't have a lot of things. I will say cheese I hung on to for a long time, but once I decided and got motivated, it just wasn't really hard. So I don't know. It was kind of all easy.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just trying to make sense of other comments here. Anybody on Instagram? There are people on Instagram still.
Yeah, we got Dale Stevens says meat was surprisingly easy, but it just kind of happened. Somebody's at your door, Matt. You might want to go get that.
I'm not going to get that. I'm just going to let that go. I think it's home team pest defense is what it looks like from my view out the window.
Okay. And Bianca Phillips says, oh, nice question, but didn't answer it, I don't think.
No.
Oh, fish for me. I never liked fish when I ate meat. So, I mean, does that even count? I guess that counts.
Yep. Okay. They're still ringing the doorbell. Yeah, fish. Yeah, I mean, fish really easy. I was the same way. Fish was never like a favorite go-to choice of food for me. So that was pretty easy to cut out. All right. Yeah. So good enough there. Keep those coming. If you join the show late or whatever, feel free to chime in. We'll may cycle back to hit those answers more. Let's see, Doug. I wanted to bring. So Bianca posted some sort of pizza thing yesterday on her Instagram, and then Mr. Jeffrey responded to it and said Matt wouldn't like this food because it's too many toppings on the pizza. And I thought about this more. I actually think I'm right about this, and everyone else is wrong.
You're digging in. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. I was thinking you were gonna say, I've been thinking about it, and like, no. People should just eat what they want to eat, and but no, you're digging in.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm correct about this. Okay, and here's the reason: when we make pizza, or I have pizza, like a lot of care goes into it. Aaron makes the sourdough crust.
Yeah,
it takes several days of waiting and all the different phases of sourdough. I make the sauce. It takes a lot of work. It's San Marzano tomatoes, garlic, oregano, minimal ingredients, good olive oil. And these are like homemade things. When I was a kid, never had either one of these homemade, ever. If I had pizza, it was from Domino's.
Sure.
Do we want to really load that down with make a cheeseburger pizza and Supreme, whatever, and we're just putting all these things on there so that they just become sort of a glorified vehicle for transporting the toppings into your mouth rather than like just appreciating really good homemade food made from a few ingredients. And then I thought more than that. Yesterday we were looking at these, I don't know what they were called. Was it cheeseburger tater tots or that were like tater tot nachos basically? And I was trying to look through for snack foods today. I have this book, Super Fun Times from Isa, which is right here. We usually pull this out around holidays to find vegan holiday things. I went in there. She has like, I don't know, cheeseburger. I think she has cheeseburger pizza actually is her recipe. And I just started like, I don't like these. This is not my idea of good food, where we just like take all these really strong flavors and combine them into just like this awesome like flavor explosion. I just think that's not the right way to eat. I think that's why people, eat terrible food and why they're unhealthy, because it's like this overindulgence world of like, let's just cram all these flavors
Yeah.
into our
All
mouth
right.
instead of like saying like, I'm gonna have a nice hummus and crackers or something, or even like vegan cheese and crackers, like a simple like maybe combine two tastes, and let's appreciate that. And that's gonna tend to be much much healthier than this other
Uh,
philosophy that you guys are all
well, no
all
one.
pushing.
These are two different arguments here. One was talking about health, right? Like when we were talking about pizza, we were talking about the most delicious way to eat a pizza, which is very different than the healthiest way to eat pizza. But I'm gonna agree with you on one thing. There is a time and place to amplify the simple ingredients, a simple pizza with a nice crust, a nice sauce, maybe some basil on there, maybe a little bit of vegan mozz or something like that. Just
Mhm.
very simple.
Okay.
Um, that's gonna be a delicious pizza. There's a time and place for that too. But I think where maybe what you're like picturing in your mind of a pizza that I would typically make is
Mhm.
one. Maybe what you're picturing is probably one that is just loaded down to the brim. You can hardly pick it up because everything's just falling off of it,
Yeah.
right?
You told me
Like
you
an
like
like
that when it comes to sandwiches and tacos. You want food that's gonna
yeah,
just make a huge mess when you try to eat it.
that's true. But I mean, or like maybe
Oh,
what
so
you're
pizza's your
picturing is
exception. Pizza's your exception to that style of
well,
eating.
no, no. I mean, I mean, there's a time and place for that too. But like,
Okay.
if I'm throwing like, so what started this whole debate was I had some Beyond Meat, some onion, and what was the other thing that I had? Mushrooms on there, and they were scarcely thrown about, right? Just you're getting a bite with a couple pieces of Beyond Meat on there. You're getting a little bit of mushroom. You're getting a little bit of onion, and it's just going to add some nice essence, some nice flavor, a nice texture to every single bite that
Mhm.
wouldn't be there if there were no toppings. It's not like just 5 layers thick of toppings.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fair, because I was kind of assuming that's what you were talking about. Is like the more flavors you can pack in, the better. Does not matter what happens to the crust, or if you lose the taste of the sauce and crust
Mhm.
entirely. Uh, so okay, I get that.
But man, like here's Casey says on the YouTube comments, you used the phrase "amazing flavor explosion." I think that is the right way to eat, and I mean, I think that there's a time for both, right? You want the like simple where you can taste every single flavor, you can taste every single ingredient, right?
Yeah.
Very very traditional cooking, but man, it is fun to eat a big flavor explosion of like all these crazy things in your mouth.
But see, the point that I eventually arrived at was that is less and less fun for me with every year that passes of eating healthy food. And we've all agreed with this, right? Taste buds change. You can appreciate the taste of just like a
Mhm.
raw vegetable, whereas it used to be just so boring, almost inedible. Uh, I'm just less and less interested in those kinds of snacks and the desserts that are crazy. And I was thinking, like, I used to love a banana split. It had 3 flavors of ice cream, three
Mm,
toppings, a different topping on each one, or different like sauce. There was like a strawberry
mhm.
sauce, a marshmallow sauce, fudge on each of the ice cream flavors. Then there was a different toppings on each one, and you're just eating this big bowl of mushed flavors together that are all sweet
Yeah.
and fatty, and I guess tastes good. I guess it's an amazing flavor explosion that Cassie Likens says. Uh, but I'd rather have a scoop of any flavor of ice cream you want. I'd rather have that single scoop than a banana split nowadays. Not
Yeah, I
because I
would, I
think it's
would, I
healthier.
agree with
It's
that. I
right.
agree with
It just
that.
tastes
Yeah.
better.
hmm No, I mean, I think there's something very simple and beautiful about like a pasta dish with just a little bit of tomato sauce and some basil on there, right? I mean, there's something very good about that. But
Mhm.
there's also something really good about a pasta dish with a big cream sauce and some plant meat in there, and some mushrooms is kind of like all mixed in there together, and just kind of a lot of flavor, a lot of heavy hitters. And I don't know. I mean, I think that
Yeah,
there's time for both. There's a time and place for both,
I
and we
don't
can
think so.
celebrate both. And you know
Nope,
what?
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter to me what
I
you
think you're
eat.
promoting food addictions.
I think you're promoting food addiction.
Okay.
I don't know. You're too close-minded. How about that? I'll change this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but I hear you though. I mean, as your taste buds, as you grow up, right? I mean, I remember every time I went somewhere with a soda fountain, I would get they called it the suicide, or at least that's what we called it, where you did like a little
Okay.
squirt of every single.
Oh wow.
You never did that?
Never did that.
Really?
Never even heard of that. No. I thought you were gonna
Where
say
you
you
do
put
like
like
Coke and Sprite and Mountain Dew and all of it
never.
together?
Maybe I've heard
What?
of. I never once heard of that.
Oh man, I have to know in the comments if that was common for other people too.
Hmm.
That was what everybody did growing up, and it was like a flavor explosion, of course. But now I would never do that
Right.
for many reasons. I rarely drink soda, but also it just wouldn't taste very good. Bianca knows what I'm
No,
talking about. She used to love it, of course.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Bianca knows that sort of stuff.
Suicide drinks were dope. Dale
All right, someone did
Stevens.
just say Tutti Frutti. I was thinking like Tutti Frutti Snowball, right? For those who speak Italian as well as I do, they know that means all fruits, and that would mean all the fruits are on the Snowball flavor. But it wasn't. You didn't have to combine all the Snowball flavors. You just got one that was called Tutti Frutti, and I guess that's fine. Like fruit punch, that was okay.
Uh-huh. All right.
Never-
There's a lot of people here. So I guess the other name for it was swamp water. Neil and
True Design says a graveyard.
graveyard. Okay. So different names where you are. Yeah. Middle
Never heard of
school
this.
skating rink. Yeah, awesome.
Do you put like the iced tea one in there? Even
I mean, maybe
like
not
anything
iced
on the
tea.
fountain has to go in.
No, I mean, but you're just mixing a bunch of them. So probably all the sodas, not like fruit punch, because usually there's like a high C fruit punch in there.
Did I tell you how when we went to Disney Springs over the summer, we went to the Coke store they have there, and it's like at the top floor, and they have a bar, and you can get all these Coke drinks and everything, and adult drinks with Coke in them. But they have like a Coke sampler from around the world, and you get 16 or 20 different, 3-ounce pours of Cokes from all different countries, and they're all different flavors, and they all have different things. Not one of them was good. They were just awful. They were the worst. They tasted like all different forms of medicine, and no one liked any of them. So
yeah,
but
the
not,
world.
this is,
I went to the World of Coke in Atlanta, and you could do the same thing. You could sample all of them, and I kind of remember a similar experience.
yeah.
That's funny.
Right.
I've got some Friday news for you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cue
Looking
up
forward to
the
that.
7-Eleven soundboard if you can.
I actually, luckily, I did. I gave it a hard restart today.
All right, let's get some Rebecca Black on there.
All right, here we go. Oh, you know what? The first play of the day always takes a few minutes.
Oh, Matt, come on. There we
There
go.
it is.
Today, Matt, it marks the 12th anniversary of the release of that song. It happens to be on a Friday.
Oh my gosh.
And it also marks the release, or I don't know if it's today or this week, of Rebecca Black's debut full-length album. I don't know what it's called. I forgot to look that up. But I did listen to a couple songs, and I mean, I'm sure they're good, but not so much my cup of tea. They will not be making it to the 7-Eleven soundboard, I don't think. But
Was the Friday? Is that Friday song? I've never known. Was that just like an ironic, like got trending on YouTube because it was so terrible? Like was it made to be terrible? I mean, did she try to make it that way?
To be terrible. No, she made it it was like a birthday gift that they had a producer come and write a song for her and do like a music video and everything. And her and her friends did like this. I think it was a birthday thing. It had like a big day out of it, and they just posted it on YouTube, and it just went viral. And I mean, it probably. I mean, I'm sure there was some to come out of it for me, being one of them, I would imagine. Sure. But I imagine it was probably pretty hard to be the butt of every single joke at the age of 13.
Yeah, that would be difficult for your just for your brain in general to deal with that stuff. Because it'd be hard to just embrace that you'd made up sort of a funny meme, and instead it feels like you're just being made fun of. Well, I think it's a pretty good song. I mean, it's jokey, but there's little that I'd rather hear on a Friday.
Right. No, exactly. It brings me so much joy. Yeah. I mean, right. You can laugh at the same way that, you laugh at like, I don't know, Barbie Girl song or something like that, and that was a serious song, you know.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
meant to be jokey. So I think it's great.
Yeah. Mr. Jeffrey says he was at karaoke last week. That alone is an interesting fact that people go to karaoke still. I didn't know that was something still kids did. And they had 2 Rebecca Black songs, but neither were Friday. So
Oh.
that maybe means she has parlayed that into some more success and a career, perhaps.
If we ever have a plant-based morning show meetup, we definitely have to hit up a karaoke bar.
Yep. You and I once infamously did karaoke together.
Late night.
In the comfort suites, I think. We did a Green Day song.
Yeah.
We definitely did an Alan Jackson / Jimmy Buffett 5 o'clock somewhere song. That was a wild night.
That was a wild night, and
I think I remember I dropped the microphone, and the guy got mad because I did a mic drop when we were done the song, and the mic hit the ground.
He was not feeling your mic drop.
No, he didn't know that. All right, so we've got a quick AI story. For some reason, we've always liked esports. We like the metaverse. We like AI. For some reason, that sort of is acceptable content for this show and for No Meat Athlete Radio. I never have known why, but it is. This one, I saw this one in the morning brew yesterday. You sent me it today from NPR, and it's another one of these things where the chat is the BS artist, or the AI doesn't tell you when it is giving a wrong answer or maybe is uncertain about the answer. And this was a Google ad. So I didn't see this part. The Google's parent company, Alphabet, lost $100 billion in market value on Wednesday. I don't know what the full market value is, so I don't know if that's just a drop in the bucket or if that's significant. But they put out an ad, and the ad had said that that new planets have been discovered or something. There was a question about how. In the ad, it showed the chat saying how there were new planets discovered, or their first pictures of these exoplanets, and it turned out that was like 15 years ago or something, right? More than that, 19 years ago is when those pictures were from. And the chat confidently stated that they were new things, and did this in the advertisement. Is that right?
Yeah, and they ran the ad, and then they put it in there, like they debuted it with this big event, and the ad had the incorrect information on there. So it's funny for a few reasons. One, because the AI was wrong, and it's just further proof that I cannot be replaced by a computer yet, and so that's important. But also because just like a huge fail on the marketing team to not fact check it before they threw in a bunch of their ads.
Yeah, that's awful. Can they not program these things to like spit out a little percentage of certainty with each paragraph they say, and say how confident we feel in this statement? It just seems like they're programmed to like make you think this is the right answer no matter what. I don't understand.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say to that, but I just thought it was a funny little story.
It is funny. It is funny. We will keep up to date with the latest AI news that comes out. All right,
Hardy is bumping over on YouTube. Bianca says she felt a little FOMO and finally moved over there.
Oh, good. That's what we want. We want to create that FOMO so that you do get over there. There's 21 people there now compared to only 9 on Instagram. That is good to see. Yeah. So anyway, technical stuff. We've been talking about putting the YouTube feed on Instagram and making the show all about this YouTube thing, but it would still be available on Instagram. Anyway, don't worry about that. We'll talk about that later. All right. So as I said, there's not much to talk about. As far as weather goes, we will get to the Super Bowl stuff and a little bit of a chocolate thing for Valentine's Day. The weather is there's not much. I mentioned that people had caught on to the Chick-fil-A story. The only other one is that Kellogg has announced plans to no longer spin off its plant-based division. They were going to put that off into something called Plant Co. That would have this Morningstar Farm brand of theirs in it, and somehow it would like no longer be officially part of the company. I don't really know why that matters or is significant, because I don't. And maybe they were going to sell that whole thing to someone else. That's probably what it was. They decided they're not doing that, and the reason is they think there's an imminent shakeout happening in the plant-based industry. No big leap there to assume that. I mean, it's we've seen these market values of these companies plummet, and before they had these astronomical valuations, these other companies did, and so Kellogg thought they didn't have any great strategic advantage competing against these companies because these other companies were very large. Now that these companies have plummeted in values, things like Beyond Meat, for example, they're not necessarily saying Beyond Meat's going to go out of business, but a lot of the big players are, the biggest players are. And now they think their size can be their advantage that helps them produce this stuff and sell this stuff at very low cost, because they're also identifying that people do not want to pay a lot more for plant-based meat compared to regular meat. So Kellogg plans to remain a large player in that industry. So I think that's a good thing. I think the idea of some, scale being good, large companies making this stuff, probably good because that'll make it cheaper. And that is it. That's all the news for the whole day.
That's it. That's all you got.
If they can make the food good, that's it. Yeah, there was literally no other topics today that were of any interest. There's a pigeon that was dyed pink for a gender reveal party in New York.
I saw that. That was
and
terrible.
It died. Yeah, it died. I don't know when it died. Yeah, that was today's news. This is from Plant Based News. Died from the fumes they assumed that it had inhaled. So I didn't include that. I don't like to report on sad news here. So, but anyway, since there was nothing else, I figured I'd mention it now. Yeah, too bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who does that? Why do we just think that's okay to do?
I don't know. Because I don't think anything
back
through.
To you.
All right. On that note, let's talk chocolate. Should we talk some chocolate?
Yes, let's. Before we do, your sound is suddenly getting grainy, Doug. Maybe mine is too. That's just further reason for people to go over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/NoMeatAthlete. And then you click the live tab and you'll see us there live. That sound is almost always really good. So if you have problems with Instagram, and recently people have had problems with Instagram, get over to YouTube where it's better.
We're just going to start sabotaging Instagram so that no one bothers coming.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's start with the chocolate scorecard. This came out a couple weeks ago, but I saved it till now for last minute Valentine's Day. Yesterday we did a bunch of Valentine's gifts that were not chocolate, and it was okay. They weren't bad ideas. But if you are just going to go the chocolate route, which is a favorite move of a lot of people, I've certainly done that before. This chocolate scorecard, it's at chocolatescorecard.com. They're ranking all these common chocolate companies according to basically how sustainable they are. But when I say sustainable here, I'm talking about, their categories are traceability and transparency, living income, child labor, deforestation and climate, agroforestry, and agrochemical management. So they rate all the chocolates based on that. And the winners, the two who had perfect scores, are these up on the YouTube, Doug? Are you?
They are up on YouTube. If you want to go check it out.
Another perk of YouTube, if you're on Instagram, you can see the stuff we're talking about. As of yesterday, we can now do this with advances in technology. We can put the article onto the YouTube screen. So head over there if you want to see this.
It's amazing. It's amazing. AI. Absolutely amazing.
Yep. It is truly a technological revolution happening. But the two companies that had perfect scores, I'm not sure why one is sitting higher than the other because it's not alphabetical. Beyond Good and Alter Eco. I've heard of Alter Eco. I've definitely seen that in, I think, Whole Food stores. Mm-hmm. They have perfect green hearts, which is the best possible score you can get. They have perfect green hearts across all the categories, leading to overall a green bear is their score. And I think that bear color determines how good the chocolate is, or how overall how good it is. So those two were there. Two others did earn a green bear, although they had one yellow heart in deforestation and climate. This is Tony's Chocolonely, which I've definitely seen in Whole Foods and other places. Steven, when he came to visit me in Asheville, stayed with our family for a couple of days, he brought me a large bar of Tony's Chocolonely, and that was the only time I've ever had it before. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
Well, go to Whole Foods and you'll see it. I know it's a big trip for you to go to the Asheville Whole Foods, but pack the family up in the car and make that trip.
I'm always complaining about how far away it is.
And get yourself some Tony's. It's good, substantial, chunky chocolate bar. It weighs double the weight of another chocolate pack you would.
Jody Shuck says Tony's is delicious. She believes it. So.
Okay. Well, the one Steven brought me had little nibs in it. I don't know what they were. They were white. I don't know. I don't think they were nuts. They were just good little things. And then Whitaker's is the other one. I've heard of that before too. That looks like a sort of a fancy traditional chocolate brand, by at least their logo. They also had the same good score with the one yellow heart, but still green bear. So that's the good ones. I won't spend nearly as much time. The ones that earned a yellow bear, Ferrero, which makes Kinder, Nutella, and Ferrero Rocher, Nestle, Chocolate Halba, Phaser.
Pretty much everybody ordered or got a yellow bear here, so
Not everybody. I see a ton more, Doug. Orange bears and red bears.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So we don't need to go through all those. I just wanted to read the other yellows.
Okay.
Hershey's, Lindt, Mars. These are big ones. You wouldn't expect them to earn the prestigious yellow bear, but they did. And I missed Kimoy, Olam, ETG, Ecom, Mondelez, which makes Cadbury, by the way, and Toblerone, and Milka. Anyway, there are a few more, but they're not brands you've heard of. So that's it. And then there are some red bears. Kellogg's, who we just talked about positively in our weather report, they get a red bear. All red hearts.
Ooh.
Across the board, red hearts.
Yikes.
But do they even make chocolate? Well, they show a picture of like chocolate cereal and stuff. So I guess they use chocolate in their products, but they don't actually sell chocolate. No one's going to give Kellogg's for Valentine's Day, I don't think.
Yeah. Of the big ones though, of the like kind of ones that everybody's heard of, Nestle is on top of the list there with the top of the yellow bear.
Yep.
So that's good. Your vegan Kit Kat, Matt, you can feel good about that purchase or feel okay about it.
Yep. And Nesquik, which I don't think is vegan, but
no, I don't think so.
Pictured as well.
But the Godiva gets a orange bear, almost a red bear.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
We got to start a Godiva boycott.
Definitely, we should organize that. All right, so that's the chocolate scorecard. You can check it out at the chocolate scorecard or just chocolatescorecard.com. If you're giving some chocolate this year, then pick a good one. All right, on to the main event, Doug. The big game. I don't know if we can say Super Bowl. Are we subject to the same issues other people are? Other broadcasters?
Certainly.
Are you gonna get all freaked out and nervous if I start saying Super Bowl?
No, I am not. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay. All right, good. You let that go. All right. So we talked about Super Bowl snacks. Yesterday we talked about one, which honestly, if I were trying to make one awful junky, snack like the kind I mentioned, that's probably the one I would do. Tater tots with cheeseburger on them, and cheddar cashew cheese. Well, I guess that makes it cheeseburger. Cheddar cashew cheese, Impossible or Beyond Crumbles or whatever. Basically, they made nachos out of tater tots. Tater tots make me feel terrible, by the way. So to put all that other stuff on there would surely be even worse. But I think the better snack to make is buffalo cauliflower wings in honor of the KFC thing. And you don't have to make it because Veg News has provided us with an article all about it. It's called The Ultimate Guide for Vegan Cauliflower Wing Lovers plus recipes. So they give a few recipes at the bottom, but you can just buy these. And that might be better. It's never fun to like dredge something in, soy milk or first cornstarch, then soy milk, then the breading. It just
sounds like a lot of work. I'm not going to lie.
It is. And I don't like getting my hands dirty. That is one thing that gets your hands really dirty. So I don't like doing that. But, it does produce a good result. And then the way you make a buffalo sauce, typically that I've done it, just get a regular old bottle of Frank's Red Hot. You don't have to get the buffalo wing or the buffalo version of it, although I did this year. But you just get the regular old Frank's Red Hot, mix it with some, or in a pan, some Miyoko's butter, or you could even use Earth Balance or whatever you want. And you just saute, lightly, melt the butter, mix it up, minute or two, and it's good. You're ready to go. So anyway, you can make it yourself pretty easily. They mentioned a few brands here. Holy Veggie, never heard of that. That's WHOLLY.
Which article are we on here? Did you skip ahead to the...
Oh yeah, I wasn't really going in any order. I was just talking about buffalo wings.
Oh man, we got a new system here. We gotta follow.
Right, you're right. It's not just me anymore, is it?
All right, okay. Hold on. Let me go. So let me share that one.
My bad. There's not that much to spend time on. They mentioned these are just a few other ones you can pick up frozen. Sol Cuisine, SOL. Bird's Eye cauliflower wings. This one is surprising to me because Bird's Eye is the company that makes all like I almost think of that as generic frozen vegetables. If you go, grab a thing of peas.
Oh yeah.
Or green beans or whatever out of the freezer.
And these are vegan?
I mean, I assume so. If they're
Wow.
here, uh, it says it's worth noting that none are actually marked vegan, but the barbecue option doesn't include any animal products on its ingredients list. So
Okay.
that's actually
Interesting.
interesting. I'm glad you called that out, um, because so it's not buffalo. This is just cauliflower wings, and so the
Huh.
barbecue one, although not marked vegan, doesn't have animal products on its ingredient list. But this is not buffalo wings. I'm not interested in barbecue wings, honestly. Uh, they use a sauce pouch inside, so you could buy that and then just not use their sauce. But of course, you wouldn't want to buy a non-vegan one. So anyway, so that's there. No Bones Beach Club. I've never heard of that. Oh, it's a
No.
restaurant chain, food service. They also mentioned Veggie Grill, but that's you have to actually go there to get that. So these are some options. Are there not other like junkier options than this, Doug? I mean, certainly we can. Oh, this is cauliflower wings. So you could just go get plant-based wings. You can find those in the frozen
Oh,
section.
definitely. You can get
All
some,
different.
yeah, some Boda cauliflower wings, or not cauliflower, Boda wings, or something like that. I'm sure.
What is
Um,
Boda?
Boca.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
I'm thinking of the wine, Boda box.
Ah, right. Right.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are plenty of junky, but I don't know. Making your own. There's some good looking ones here. They look delicious. So I have a little confession here. Maybe not so much on this article, but as we were looking through the 30 plus vegan snack options, or whatever this other article is,
Yep.
um I had to go inside and get a snack. It was making me so hungry.
Really?
Yes. Yeah,
At
which
what
is
time
not
were you
good.
doing this?
This was at 10 o'clock this
Oh my
morning.
gosh, Doug. What are you
I
doing?
know. I don't know. I was looking at those nachos and all those cheese dips and all this stuff, and I
Me
thought,
this
man,
so this is actually when I came to that conclusion that I am better than everyone else because I like simpler flavors. I was looking at this very article and thinking, I don't want any of this food. Like this just sounds awful. And I was thinking maybe I'll do the buffalo wings, but
uh-huh.
I have no interest in making 3 of these things and having 3 of these in front of me during the game and then eating that and just feeling terrible. I don't know,
Yeah.
Doug. I think we're different and I think I'm better because I don't want this stuff.
Yesterday you chastised me for saying that vegans
I
are
know that
better.
vegans are better.
Yeah, you're
I'm
like,
talking about
I'm not
vegans. I'm
going to
talking
say
about
that. I
me.
would never say that. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. And here you are, less than 24 hours later.
I don't think for my veganism, I don't think I'm better than anyone else.
Yeah,
That's just a
okay.
personal
Just,
choice. I do think I'm better because my taste buds are more evolved than everyone else's. So I don't want this garbage.
Oh, Matt. Oh, man. What am I going to do with you? I mean, like, look, there's no way I could go to town on an entire plate of these things, but yeah, I don't know. Some junk food on the Super Bowl. You kidding? Of course I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm. No, but we're talking about junk food
And
on
it's
Friday morning, Doug, at 10 a.m.
yeah, well, that's why I went in and I got an apple. Okay, look,
Oh, good. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
it just made me hungry. I'm not saying it made
Well,
me starving for that. It just made me hungry, so I went and got an apple.
we should point out I'm 4 years older than you, and I probably wasn't this evolved 4 years ago. And by choosing that apple, I think you're on the right path. You remind me of a young me who would do
Okay.
that when he wanted a snack, and soon you could
Uh
one day you might be able to be like this too.
huh. If only I can be as
Yeah.
elevated, or what did you say? Not
Evolve.
advanced,
Yeah.
evolved as you. Yeah.
Yep.
hmm
All right. Well, let's skip over to that article and get to it, uh, and then I can present what I think is a nice alternative. All right. So they give just a bunch of them. They're all. I mean, if you hear one, you've basically heard them all. It's just take a
Yeah.
bunch of fake vegan ingredients, combine them, mix in a bowl, and then dip chips in it.
Yeah.
Uh, vegan queso dip. This, by the way, is from theedgyveg.com. And this was like the first or second article that came up when I just searched vegan Super Bowl snacks. It's not a new thing. They put this out actually 2 years ago. So anyway, it's a vegan buffalo chicken dip, vegan spinach dip, vegan French onion dip. I'm going to stop saying vegan because they all are. Coconut lime dip with curry fries, buffalo cauliflower wings with
I
ranch,
don't. Oh yeah. Okay.
deep fried pickles. I mean, that'd be kind of fun to make. I'd like to know if Bianca's ever made deep fried pickles at home and had success.
I made
They
dip.
may
I
be a
haven't. Not
recipe
at
on the book.
not at my home. I went to a fry party one time. this was super fun. In my
Okay.
DC days, this guy had an annual fry party. You bring whatever you wanted to. He had different batters, and you'd fry it, and
Did
it
he have a
was
separate vat for vegans
yeah,
to
I was
use?
just vegetarian at the time, so I probably wasn't paying much attention to that.
Okay.
But it was very fun, and the fried pickles were a huge hit.
I actually think fried pickles are really good. And
Mhm.
that's a good example of what I'm getting at when I talk about presenting an alternative. Uh, baked taquitos with creamy salsa and guacamole, pigs in a blanket. You can now just buy those, by the way. Uh,
Mhm.
you don't have to make them, but you could. Mac and cheese nachos, meatball sub sliders. Again, all these things are vegan. I'm just not reading vegan in front of them. Crispy quinoa onion rings, KFC popcorn chicken, which is weird they call it KFC, but they do put chicken in quotes. And then stuffed crust pepperoni. This is for the main meal. I don't know who would want a main meal if you're eating all that stuff for your appetizers, but vegan stuffed crust pepperoni pizza. So stuff. Are you don't stuff the crust of pizza? Do you?
No, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
You
That's
wouldn't,
where I
you
draw the
wouldn't do that.
line. That's where I
Okay.
draw the line.
All right. Crunchwrap Supreme. We
4 years
made
ago, maybe.
right. A lot can change in 4 years. Crunchwrap Supreme. We've actually made this before. Aaron has made a vegan Crunchwrap Taco Bell sort of thing at home. Cornbread chili pie, dill pickle pizza, steak tacos. Like, is it because it's Super Bowl we need to just like you have to have junk food meal? I don't understand that part. I get maybe a bunch of junk food appetizers, but like you could still go eat like a regular dinner.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I think that they're like things you put out on a table and share with people, and
okay, right. And then they've got a bunch of milkshakes and cookie doughs. I mean, like they just took all the
I
junk
don't
food
know.
recipes on their
I
whole
mean,
site,
I mean,
I think, and made a
yeah.
compilation and called it Super Bowl. So here's what I think. The fried pickle actually sounds pretty good because like it's just one thing. Yes, you're
Uh-huh.
frying it. Same with the cauliflower wings. I like them. It has one thing, a sauce that goes on it. You know, that's a pretty good snack to me. Now that's a better snack. I think not as healthy, but better than like celery in hummus, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
it's fun.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you want to do this, go buy the field roast corn dogs, mini little corn dog things. I
Okay.
think they come with a sauce. Like that's a nice little kind of junky snack,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
but it's not like putting a vegan cheeseburger on top of vegan pizza on top of nachos or something. It's just like a one thing. So I think that's the move to do. Pick out a thing that has 2 or 3 elements to it and make that your snack for Super Bowl.
This is your like new thing, right? Nothing can have
Yeah,
more than
it's
3
it's
ingredients to
right.
it.
I've just
uh,
clarified my thinking is what it is. I've always believed these are the best things. I just didn't really know why, but now I understand.
uh-huh. Yeah. I'm with you on not like needing too many different options here, but
Mhm,
here's what I'm guessing we're gonna make. I don't know yet, but my guess is we're gonna do a big plate of nachos. We're gonna have some
mhm.
beers. We're gonna maybe have some sort of wings or vegan chicken thing,
Yep.
and then that'll be absolutely delicious. Bianca said she tried um the pizza rolls,
Oh,
and she said they were good.
these are the
I think
ones that
she said
you
they were good.
saw, she means?
Yeah, the pizza rolls
Okay.
and she's making those for her Super Bowl party. See, that would be an awesome appetizer that I would love to have for my kids.
Mhm.
Just for the Super Bowl. Something special.
Yeah, right. Well, that's a good time to have something kind of special. You know, Doug, I actually like nachos. We've had this conversation already on this show. I really stopped eating them like once I went vegan. Every now and then I'll be tempted and I'll order them at some restaurant, but like it's always pretty disappointing because I don't, as you know, I don't really like the vegan cheeses anymore. They're just too plasticky and strange. So I would love to know if someone has found the right way to make or buy a cheese that goes on nachos and is
Mm,
vegan and makes the plate of nachos good because all the other stuff is great. And this is a situation where I actually enjoy a lot of things, right? Some black olives, some salsa, some pickled jalapenos. Uh, what else? Black beans. What else goes on nachos?
guacamole.
Guacamole, perhaps. Now we're getting into the multiple sauces, and that's kind of a problem for
Hmm.
me. But
Jalapenos, you said that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
pickled
mean, just keep
jalapenos.
it. A good nacho is not a complicated nacho.
Yeah, good. But I need that secret ingredient cheese. So someone can maybe tell us what is the best way to hold
Hmm.
together the nachos. Because what do you do, Doug? You just go get like diet cheese or something?
Yeah, yeah. And
It
be a
just
little
doesn't seem
light on
very
it.
good.
Hmm.
You go light on it? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good move.
Hmm.
At least then it would sort of stick things together.
Right. Oh, you know what you could do is similar to your quesadilla that you've turned us on to is like a refried bean. That can add a little bit of stickiness.
Right? So you just sort of would mix that into the nacho plate or pour it
Yeah.
over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that idea. All right. I'm not seeing any submissions.
Yeah. No
About what to do
solutions
here.
here.
I mean, you
For
can make
anyone
a cashew
anyone over on
cheese.
Instagram who wants to join the party, it's over at YouTube. That's where all
Yeah,
the action's happening.
That's where the action is. Bianca says there's a great beer cheese dip in my book. Yes, I believe she's referring to the first No Meat Athlete book that does have a guest recipe. I forget the guy's name. But there is a good, that is a pretty good recipe. But see, that's like, no, that's right. That's fine. So when you order nachos, like if you go to 7-Eleven, and I'm thinking back years now, if I go to 7-Eleven and buy nachos, it would be, you get a little plastic dish and it has the round tortilla chips in one side, and the other side is like a liquid nacho cheese.
Yeah.
But when we talk about nachos, I'm imagining melted cheese. Like if you go to a restaurant, you order nachos,
like loaded, like a big mound of loaded nachos.
Right. But so nachos don't necessarily have nacho cheese on them, do they? Like a plate of nachos that's not nacho cheese.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah.
Okay.
But it could, I guess.
It could. So that would be one solution. Is make some nacho cheese or a queso dip. There are plenty of vegan recipes for those. I think we just read about one of them. Yeah, not quite what I'm looking for, but that would be in the right direction.
Absolutely.
What's the name for that Mexican dish, Doug? Where it basically is a whole plate of nachos and they're sort of wet.
Oh yeah, that we had in Mexico.
Oh, is it chilaquiles? Is that what it's called?
Chilaquiles. That sounds right. I don't know.
I'd like to make that. That's sort of, to me, a more refined version of nachos. It's a little
Remember,
more upper class
just because it feels more classical. That's the only reason you say that. Right? We were in Mexico, and you didn't know what it was, or it sounded something different in the description, and you ordered it for breakfast, and you're basically like,
"Oh yeah.
Here I am chowing out on nachos for breakfast." So
that's right.
Yeah. I don't know how refined your palate actually is. You giving me a hard time.
Well, I think a lot of Mexican breakfast options are more like lunch here or dinner here. You get a little side of refried beans. That's not typically done in this country for breakfast, but it's great when you're there. But yeah, nachos, little weird choice. I did not know what they were because I knew that chilaquiles are that. I thought somehow that it just wouldn't. I just didn't put it all together. I just didn't think I'd be eating nachos for breakfast. I thought they'd maybe make it out of corn tortillas that weren't fried or something, and I'd have more of a traditional breakfast. But wrong I was. Aisha says chilaquiles are soggy to her, so that's no good. And that's true. They kind of are sometimes. Kate says they're delicious. Cassie says they're delicious. All right, that's it. We have no good solution for like what cheese to use. That it means there's still not a perfect vegan sprinkled like shredded cheese option that melts and that tastes good and doesn't. I don't know. Like when I used to get nachos, non-vegan, a plate of nachos, the cheese would be the best part. The melted cheese is like literally the glue that holds it together, but it was the glue figuratively too. It just made it all good. Now with vegan cheese, it's like the thing that makes it bad. And
what about the non-dairy or no like the cheese that like has the structure of dairy? What do you call that?
The animal-free whey sort of stuff, or
the animal,
dairy identical cheese.
The dairy identical.
Yeah,
cheese,
I don't know if I've had any of that. Have you? I mean, they're talking about it now. Certain cream cheeses are it, but I haven't seen yet there be vegan cheese using that. There's the whey protein, and they're doing it in other stuff, but I haven't seen like a mass market cheese that is dairy identical.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. We talked about dairy identical cheese yesterday. I don't know if it was...
That was cream cheese. That was the cream cheese people who are offering $200 to try.
You're right.
So I don't think that would be long, though, because surely, I mean, this very problem we're having, that it seems like would be nearly solved by a dairy identical thing. It would still be unhealthy for sure, and cheese, I think, is one of the least healthy things people eat, so it's not solving that problem, but for a special occasion, it would be nice to have it. Erin's chiming in from the road. She's driving right now to Slutty Vegan with Holden. And she says, I think the queso from Plant U could be great on nachos. Yeah, that's right. We've made the queso from Plant U, the book, and it's good.
Aaron, I'm not gonna condone you texting and driving here, commenting and driving. So
I'm not either. I don't know how she did that.
But I can't wait for the report on Monday about the Slutty Vegan experience.
That's right. There may be a reel that goes live this very afternoon or evening, and maybe
excellent.
we can find out how to reshare that on the Plant Based Morning Show account.
All right.
Well, that's good. I would say we sufficiently saved the show when they're really going into this. We were like, "There's nothing to talk about. We just need to kill a bunch of time talking about snacks," and we did. So thank you everyone for your contributions to that.
Turns out I can talk about snacks for days.
I'm glad you can, Doug. We have a nice little give and take here.
Uh-huh.
I think this show wouldn't be good if we had the same opinions about everything, or if we were equal in quality as far as our food tastes. This wouldn't be the same.
That's right. I'm clearly the man of the people, though. Everyone seems to be on my side.
That's true. I guess I'm just better than everybody. Yeah, which is not what I thought. But
hey, Matt, do you care who wins the Super Bowl?
No, I don't like either team. I think I would root for the Chiefs. It's Chiefs versus Eagles, right?
Yeah.
I've just always very much disliked Philadelphia teams, as I told you, even though you have some family in Philadelphia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just never liked the Philly fans for any sport. So for that reason, I'll pick the Chiefs. But the Chiefs to me they're also just, I don't know. They're one of those teams now that's always there because they're good, and it's hard to root for a team like that. But it's right. Kansas City. They're not historically a powerhouse in anything. So I guess I'll pick them. How about you?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I don't have the same disdain for the Eagles as I do the Phillies. So and the connection to Philadelphia, and then also because they are not the powerhouse that's been in the Super Bowl so many times recently, I gotta go for the Eagles.
And the Phillies, did they win the World Series, or did they get to the World Series but lose?
They did not win the World Series.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think the Astros won.
Yeah, that's right.
So Philly's on a good little run, though. 2 championship games at least, or 2 championship, competitions in a couple months. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Will you be doing any wagering of any kind on the game, Doug?
I hadn't planned on it, but maybe.
Not even a basic Super Bowl pool?
No plan on it.
Run a Plant-Based Morning Show Super Bowl pool.
We should have. That would have been fun. Probably would have been illegal, so we're not actually going to do that. Wink, wink. But no. I don't know. Yeah. Are you going to log into your dust off your old DraftKings account and get in there?
I don't think so. I feel like I am not the smart money in that. I feel like I'm the sucker that comes to the table to lose if I do that. So I'm not doing that. I am in a Super Bowl pool with friends, half of the money goes to a good cause. So feel good about that. But that would be the extent of the gambling I'm doing. Those Super Bowl pools, though, you do them and then suddenly you forget about caring at all who wins the game, or even like caring for a high quality game. You're just rooting for like weird score combinations and safeties and trying to make crazy things happen so that you can hit your numbers. So they always ruin Super Bowls, but I always do them. It's a tradition.
Yeah, but who really cares? I mean, unless your team is in there, who really cares about the game?
Yeah. I haven't watched a complete football game in so long. It just I don't know, just too boring. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else.
That's it. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for all the interactions, everyone. That was very nice. It definitely makes these way more fun when people are part of it, and it's great to see the energy that is happening, especially over at YouTube, but on Instagram as well. So again, thank you all for that. Someone just said, "No, Nominati, can you drop the link, please?" And I don't know what that link is for. And that was like 15 minutes ago, so there's no idea what that was. So I apologize.
Yeah, one of the articles, but we post those in the show notes. If you listen to the podcast, you can read get the links to every discussion we've had or every article we discuss.
Yep, and don't forget, before you go, like, subscribe, turn on notifications on the YouTube show. That's a huge help to us and to getting more people to the show, which is great. So please, and on Twitch, the 2 people who are here from Twitch, do that there too, or whatever you do in that world. Please do it.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you all Monday.
See you later.